What's up, Leo? How y'all doing? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's going on with y'all in the last week and a half of September. We're just going to do the last week and a half all in one because, you know, the last bit of September is the first half of the 5th week. So, end of September. So, it's a weekly check-in. So, this is just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. Any of you need a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website if you want, tarotwithrich.com, but I do have a link in the description of the video. Most people prefer my general personal readings, probably just because they're so cheap, but I like them because they're quick, easy, and efficient. You don't have to ask me nothing, you don't have to tell me nothing. If you don't want, you can. But all you really got to do is click what you want read and let me do the rest. Quick and efficient. But I do offer a lot more than that. And you can read up on everything else on my website. Link is in the description. All right, let's see how the energy's looking between Leo and the person they dealing with. How's the energy looking in the end of September? Oh, damn. Damn. Straight out the gate, bro. You know what that is? That's the card of walking away. So maybe you just ain't playing this damn game. Saying, fuck this shit. I'm done. Dun 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 dun. Well done. On the way to extra crispy. So, this is a hard decision to make too, isn't it? But, you know, you're coming to the conclusion in your mind that you've learned your lesson. That the toxicity is just too much. Throwing in the white towel and doing what you know needs to be done, regardless of how it feels. That's how you level up, by the way. Oh, you level way the fuck up like that. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, well, that's all I can say about this. The signs I have on the table are Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay, could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right, let's look at their feelings, energies, and intentions towards you. My thing I like to look at is what their energy looks like in general and what kind of person they are. Nine of Pentacles. Maybe this person just likes being single. I think it's pretty, yeah, this person's afraid of commitment. Are you afraid of commitment? I mean, they do still feel a real strong karmic tie with you. So, this is some migraine-inducing shit. I can't stand when this comes through. Do they want to be with you? Yes. Yeah, they want to be with you. But they also want to be single and non-committal at the same time. I want to have my cake and eat it too. And if we want to take that metaphor and make it literal, how do you have your cake and eat it too? How do you do that? It's possible. But the only way to do that is to eat your cake and have a piece of shit. It's the only way to do that. So, yeah, confused. Just confusion. I'm not going to spend a bunch of energy digging this up and coming up with 10,000 different analogies. This is a confused fucking individual that doesn't know what the hell they want. They want to be with you one day, then they want to be single and non-committal the next day. Boom. Some of you dealing with a Saggy. I also have Taurus, Libra, Taurus again. And Capricorn for some of you. This person wants a sex-based connection. You know, they don't know what the fuck they want. Maybe for some of you, you're dealing with a drug addict or an alcoholic, maybe. Okay. Could be an Aquarius for some of you. All right. I'm just going to give myself a headache if I keep trying to explain that. You get the picture, right? I think for a lot of you, there's not really much I can tell you that you don't already know, to be honest with you. All right, let's get some advice then, because we got the outcome in the very first fucking card. What advice do we have? What's the advice for the Leo family? Ooh, justice. You know what justice means? That means I do what I know needs to be done, regardless of how it feels. We already talked about all this. There may not be a lot of really deep, profound advice other than the green light. You got the green light. Boom, there it is again. That look familiar? That look familiar? Walk away. It's going to be hard. But, you know, you have to get to that point where I would rather experience the pain of walking away than the pain of repeating the cycle. You know? And you have to get to that point. Nobody can tell you how to get ready for that. If you're not ready for that, it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what anybody say. You have to get to that point in here where I can't repeat this cycle one more time. I can't take it. Can't take it. I would rather endure the pain of walking away from this than repeat this cycle one more fucking time. I can't do it. And I'm not necessarily saying that you've been on and off with this person. I'm sure some of you have, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Even if it only happened once, I can't take it again. Not doing it again. So I guess this is mainly geared towards those of you who are second guessing your decision to walk away, maybe. In which case, you got the green light. Time to boot, scoot, and boogie on out of there. All right. Man, that was quick. Let's see what's coming in for the singles. Single Leo. What's coming in? Anything good coming? Anything bad coming? Anything at all? Ah, shit. Hang on. Eight of Swords reversed. Hold up. Hang on. I hope this isn't going where I think it's going. I think we already talked about this, but I think we talked about this last week. Temperance, moon reversed. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't have the card for it, so I'm gonna hold off on that. But I will say this. For some of you, it could be somebody at the workplace, possibly, but there is a pretty significant energetic blockage here. I personally think it's going to be a test. I don't have the card for that, though. So, unless the card for that jumps out, you know, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. But there's some sort of big, significant energetic blockage. Like, you meet somebody at a distance, or you have conflicting work schedules, or some of you dealing with somebody at the workplace, and relationships within the workplace goes against company policy, that type of shit, you know? Whatever it is, there's some sort of big energetic blockage here, and I don't know. You don't really have high hopes with this. You feel something funny about it. It feels a little bit off. You're looking for red flags. You're looking for them red flags. I think you're keeping this person at a serious arm's distance. You ain't letting yourself get too close to them very quickly at all. So, okay, things are moving incredibly slow. Incredibly. This may be one of them types of situations that doesn't even get made official anytime soon. You know? This could turn into one of them situations where we're just talking for a month type shit, you know? Because this looks ungodly slow. There's nothing wrong with taking things slow, right? But you can't get on the interstate and do 25 miles an hour. That's just ridiculously slow, you know? So, okay. Could be a Pisces for some of you. Also have Saggy. And that's it. Okay. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's see their energies and intentions. Let's see how they feel about you. What kind of person are they in general? What's their energy look like? Way too many fell out on the floor. Chariot. I mean, I don't really think they want things to move slow necessarily. This individual's a horrible communicator. Afraid of commitment. Again, another fucking migraine. Kind of like what we were talking about a minute ago. Where they want to get into a relationship and just move fast. They wanted, okay, so you know, a lot of times, because I think this person was recently heartbroken. So one of the things some people do when they get their heart broken, they want to jump straight into that relationship that has history behind it. You know that bond you get with somebody after you've been together for a year or two. They're in a hurry to find that with somebody else when they're not even in the mindset to connect with somebody, you know? So that's kind of where this individual is, I think. If that makes any sense. There's definitely a third energy involved. Actually, honestly, there might be more than that. We got 3 of Cups and 7 of Cups here. So I think this person's keeping their options open. And, you know, it's not really, they're not looking for a relationship for the connection. They're just looking for a faceless, nameless somebody to be in a relationship with as soon as possible. You know, they don't really care who. So that's what you're feeling that's off. But the question is, do they have bad intentions? I don't think so. Now, is that a very smart thing to do? No. But just because they're doing something incredibly fucking stupid doesn't mean they have bad intentions behind it. Does that make sense? Does that give them a license to do stupid shit? No, that's not what I'm saying. The reason I read intentions is to give you the opportunity to make the most well-informed decision as to whether or not you are going to excuse shitty behavior. Basically. Right? Because whether or not intentions excuse shitty behavior, that's up to the individual. We all draw that line somewhere different. There's some things that if I know your intention behind it, okay, I'll let it slide. I know what you meant. I know where you're coming from. What you did wasn't cool, but I'll let it slide because I know your intentions. There's other things that's like, fuck your intentions, you crossed the line. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't care how you meant it. I don't care what your intentions were. You crossed the fucking line. Nope, fuck you. Where do you draw that line? That's different for everyone. That's why I read intentions. So when somebody who's doing shitty things, when I tell you they don't have bad intentions, I'm not telling you to excuse the shitty things that they did. I'm telling you, here, you decide if you want to excuse the shitty things that they've done. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Alrighty. So I don't think this person has bad intentions. With all due respect, I just think they're a dumbass. Well, let's grab some advice. What's the advice? Justice reversed. Well, now, I'm not saying boot, scoot, and boogie just because something feels funny for a day. Give it some time to see if your energies can click together and start flowing together, you know? But it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. When an energetic cycle begins, it doesn't take long for that to gain momentum. It doesn't take long at all. If it's something as simple as maybe I'm just having a bad day, or maybe you're just having a bad day, that can correct itself within a matter of days. If it don't correct itself in a matter of days, like if me and you start talking and the energy feels funny, it feels weird, it feels off, I'm going to give it maybe a week. After a week, if the energy is not shifting, matter of fact, if it's just getting heavier, that tells me where this is going. An energetic anomaly can correct itself in a matter of 2 or 3 days, you know? So give it a little bit of time, but don't let the energy build to the point to where this is going to happen. Or try not to, at least. You know, at least make that a point to where you feel the energy out. You don't let it turn into something too crazy. Sometimes you have no control of it, you know, depending on the situation and whatnot, but do the best you can to minimize as much of that as possible. Ask yourself, do I trust this person? Ask yourself that honestly. If you say, I don't know, you better start knowing. You better start knowing. If you don't know whether or not you can trust somebody after a month, man, you better use that second month to figure it out. I think the second month is entirely too excessive, but just to be fair to everyone, if you don't know if you can trust somebody, after 2 months, you'll never know. You'll never know. You'll always have that little voice of doubt in the back of your mind. Always. Always. And that little voice of doubt is like termites in your house. It's going to grow and grow. And as it begins to grow, it's going to manifest itself. And you'll end up finding things to be suspicious about. You know, it turns into the most convoluted fucking shit show of I don't know what's real and what's not, what I can trust and what I can't. And then that's when it ends up leading to this. So, yeah. Feel it out, man. Feel it out, but don't take too long trying to feel it out or figure it out. My thing, now this is just me, just from my knowledge of energy, my knowledge of universal law, understanding how energy behaves, and my own personal life experience of making fucking miracles happen in my life and attracting my divine life partner myself. 30 days, after 30 days, to me, that's entirely too long to be confused about feelings, intentions, or loyalty. Again, I like to be fair, just to make room for any potential exceptions, because, you know, there's exceptions to everything. I've never seen an exception to this, but just to be open to the possibility that there's an exception, let's throw a grace month in there and say 60 days. Oh, if you're confused after 60 days, you'll always be confused. Okay? So, All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Leo family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.